I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes, so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler Sports and this is the Sport Report.
And I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports. Welcome to a special edition of this all crazy sports newscast.
Broadcasting from somewhere in the United States.
Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Monday, May 13th, 2019. Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. It's time to get you caught up on what's happening in the world of sports. This is Top of the Order.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
This is Top of the Order.
Our top story comes from not in the United States. No, we're not talking about Manchester City defeating Brighton Hove Albion 4-1 to win the Premier League title for the second consecutive season. We're sorry, Liverpool fans, we had to mention it. No, I'm talking about the Toronto Raptors and what Kawhi Leonard did last night. Let me set the scene for you. It's 90-90, and there's just under 10 seconds remaining in the ball game in Game 7 between Philadelphia and Toronto. One is going to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the Milwaukee Bucks. The other is going home to sit on the couch and watch the Eastern Conference Finals. Well, actually, I don't want to spoil it for you. Let's let Marv Albert and TNT tell the story.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger? Game! Series! Toronto has won!
That's right, Kawhi Leonard's buzzer beater shot is the first buzzer beater in a Game 7 in NBA playoff history. It took not one, not two, not three, but four bounces before it went in. Just incredible. It was absolutely incredible. No one knew what to say. Kawhi was on the ground after he shot it, and he couldn't believe it either. Nobody could believe it. Joel Embiid's in tears. But the Raptors win 92-90, and the number 2 seeded Toronto Raptors are heading to Milwaukee to face off against the Bucks in Game 1 of their series on Wednesday night. Kawhi Leonard finished with 41 points for Toronto, while Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid each had a double-double for Philadelphia. Harris 15 points, 10 rebounds. Joel Embiid 21 points, 11 rebounds. Kawhi was the leading scorer by 20 points for either side. Aside from Toronto being in a Game 7 against Philadelphia, there was one other Game 7 in the NBA, and the Denver Nuggets blew a 17-point lead at home to the Portland Trail Blazers and ultimately fell to the Blazers 100-96. CJ McCollum had 37 points and led the Blazers. Even though Damian Lillard had 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists, his leadership carried this Trailblazers team to their first Western Conference final since 2000. It'll also be the first time two brothers have faced off in a conference final in NBA playoff history. Seth Curry and Steph Curry. Portland for Seth, Golden State for Steph. They will face off in Game 1 on Tuesday night in the Bay Area. Dell and Sonia Curry, the parents of Seth and Steph, will not have to travel to two separate games over 2 days. They can be in one arena to watch both of their boys. Though that would be a tough decision to make as to who to root for, but we'll see what they do. Not only were there 2 NBA Game 7s, but there was one NHL Game 2. The Boston Bruins hosted the Carolina Hurricanes and destroyed the Carolina Hurricanes 6-2. Brad Marchand and company turned on the Jets and turned on the scoring lamp in the TD Garden, and the Bruins now lead 2-0 in their series. They are 2 wins away from a Stanley Cup final, which would be their first since 2013. Carolina, meanwhile, heads home where they have been unbeatable in their home arena. We'll see if the series comes out tied or in favor of Boston later this week. We mentioned it briefly in Top of the Order, but Manchester City defeated Brighton Hove Albion 4-1, taking the title from Liverpool. Quite literally, actually. Liverpool led Wolves 1-0 in the 27th minute when Manchester City conceded a goal to Brighton Hove Albion's Glenn Murray. But it was Manchester City who fought back. They scored 4 unanswered and took the title away from Liverpool. Anfield in Merseyside was buzzing, but Manchester City are the ones lifting the trophy for the second consecutive season. Liverpool have one trophy to play for. Manchester City do as well. City in the FA Cup final in a week's time, and Liverpool in the Champions League final against Tottenham Hotspur in 3 weeks' time. Champions League final on the 1st, Manchester City's FA Cup final against Watford on the 18th. Now that we've covered our bases, let's head to the field.
Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Ortiz in the deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
Cubs win.
from Major League Baseball.
There were 14 games on the MLB slate after the Marlins at the Mets was rained out. The Baltimore Orioles defeated the LA Angels 5-1. Chicago White Sox defeated the Toronto Blue Jays by the same scoreline. New York Yankees 7, Tampa Bay Rays 1, Detroit Tigers 5, Minnesota Twins 3. In a battle of Texas, the Houston Astros 15, Texas Rangers 5. Philadelphia Phillies 6, Kansas City Royals 1, San Francisco Giants 6, Cincinnati Reds 5, Cleveland Indians 5, Oakland Athletics 3. Salvador Perez had a 3-run homer in the 6th inning to help lead the Indians to the win. Atlanta Braves 5, Arizona Diamondbacks 3, LA Dodgers 6, Washington Nationals nothing. The Nationals had 1 hit on the afternoon when former Colorado Rocky outfielder Gerardo Parra broke open Ryu's no-hitter in the 8th inning. Ryu was then pulled from the game, but he had 9 strikeouts, allowed a hit, and had a walk in the ball game. Corey Seager also had a grand slam for the Dodgers to help them win. Colorado Rockies 10, San Diego Padres 7. Charlie Blackmon had 2 homers on the day, but it was the Rockies bullpen who had a few more questions, and including the previous few games where they've let up a few runs late in the game, like last season, they did it again, let up 4 runs to the Padres in the top half of the 9th. 10-7 winners for the Rockies, even if the bullpen is starting to struggle. Chicago Cubs 4, Milwaukee Brewers 1. Chris Bryant had a 2-run homer in the 7th to put the Cubs up for good. John Lester improves to 3-1 on the season with a 1.16 ERA. Finally, the Boston Red Sox 11, Seattle Mariners 2. Michael Chavis had 3 hits and 5 RBIs on the day for the Red Sox. On Mother's Day, the Red Sox are now 3 games above 500, while the Mariners are 3 games under 500. Tomorrow, there are 7 games on the MLB slate. That's the Sport Report for Monday, May 13th, 2019.
For now, I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. Do you want to contact Chandler Sports or members of the Sport Report team? Visit sportreportcws.com. This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Chandler Sports is strictly prohibited.